we have to learn and copy certain things so we know how to be in the world, but it's supposed to be a starting point. You know, if we were getting a proper Confucian education, the next thing that would happen, they would say, well, now that we're here and we're making you stronger on the inside, what do you agree with and what don't you agree with? What do you want to keep and what would you like to discard? But most of the time, the education stops with, hey, just do what I do, or do what I tell you to do. Makes you a good worker and a good student. And my first teacher said to me, have you ever noticed, and this with a thick Chinese accent, he says, do you ever notice that you are always a good person as long as you do what everybody wants? And that you're a bad person when you do what people don't want? So what is the good approval and the bad approval? That's what he used to say. And I was like, what? He goes, a way to control you. This guy's a Taoist too, right? That was very Confucian of him. But that was it. So on a good page there, this is sort of my introduction and what I'm hoping for. So Confucius says, okay, you need a ritual, some kind of thing that you do that makes you very present and with it and ready to get started, right? And he was into ancestor worship. I didn't want to teach a class in ancestor worship.
Next.
Yeah, some other time, right? But even that has its value. You know, I know, right? Wouldn't that be fun? Why it has its value? From a Confucian point of view, a lot of people thought, oh, well, but what if my ancestors were obnoxious? What if they were terrible? And Confucius says, doesn't matter. You behave as if they were good, and it resolves the relationship. It was basically early psychology. He's like, if we put this energy into a relationship that maybe wasn't all that great, we resolve the part in us that was wounded by that relationship. That was the thinking behind ancestor worship. Because this was a time when you couldn't really rebel against your parents and, you know, not have somebody do something terrible to you. So, but they had to acknowledge, wow, you know, like, what was that Anna Karenina quote? All happy families are happy in the same way, but all unhappy families are unhappy in their own way. And there's something to that. It says, okay, well, no matter what it is that happened, or no matter what background it is that I'm coming from, we're not going to get out of this unscathed. So he was like, ancestor worship. I was like, you know, they never let me bring in incense sticks through customs and the statue and the big stone tablet. It's a lot of checked baggage. So I went with Tai Chi on this one. And I went with Tai Chi on this one for a lot of reasons. One, Tai Chi, by its nature, throws off things that encumber you. It sinks the chi, it locates your physical center, and then when you locate your physical center of gravity, it brings an energetic sense of gravity. And so the chi and the physical body fuse together. Does that make sense? I really wish it were taught differently, because a lot of people say, oh, it's just this beautiful moving meditation. And I was like, but there ought to be a fusion of those two things to really get the benefit from it. So if we can bring that energy into your body and it sinks, the chi goes down, it hits the earth, and then once the earth chi and your physical chi merge, your field starts to grow. It starts to expand out. It gets, they call that peng, ward off chi. It's like your body sort of turns into like a big basketball almost. You know, it's like a big rubber thing that things bounce off of. Literally, things bounce off of it, physically and energetically. So it says, okay, first it pushes those things out, then it expands them a little bit farther, and then within this safe sphere, you get to fill it with what you want.